If you don't know about flyer deals on Instacart, this message is for you. Flyer deals are like strolling through your favorite store looking for deals, but you're scrolling your phone, and maybe you're in bed. Because getting delivery doesn't mean you have to miss deals like you'd get at the store, like the one creamer that doesn't make your stomach hurt, or the pasta sauce you can't not buy when it's on sale. So download the Instacart app, shop flyers, and never miss a deal on one of your favorites. Plus, get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes.
Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah. Well, hey, girl, hi!
Hi, Miss Mims. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? Everyone, I'm just going ahead and cutting her off because we've already recorded 45 minutes of another podcast. You can find the Rue Roundup, which is our other podcast, wherever you find your podcasts. Anyway, hey, girl, how are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, let me tell you about something funny that actually happened yesterday. So I have on my shirt, right, which is my little He-Man.
Oh, yes.
Voguing.
Gay He-Man and gay
Yes,
Skeletor.
voguing. And I'm not joking. This really happened yesterday. I was rounding the corner at the Winn-Dixie, or was it Publix? No, I can't remember. It was either Winn-Dixie or Publix. I was trying to find sugar-free popsicles for my husband. As I was rounding the corner, this very kind of handsome, big black dude, he looked at me. He was like, "That shirt's gangster as hell." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait." So, and I kept on going, and I had this moment where I was like, "Hold on. Is he saying that it's gangster because he clearly understands what this shirt is about and he thinks it's gangster that I'm just walking around willy-nilly not in a gay part of town like this? Or does he think it's gangster because he doesn't quite understand what this shirt is about and there's something about the two of them together that he thought was interesting?" And I really wanted to kind of chase him down and ask him for clarification, but I thought better of that.
Dear, they are obviously voguing, and he knows what voguing is. It is that is deep in the African American community, no matter your orientation.
I know, but gangster? Like gangster?
Well, did he say gangster or gangsta?
Gangsta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a difference.
You're asking the wrong person of color.
But I would let me segue into something else real quick because we do need to apologize for missing a week.
Yes, we're so sorry.
We have been taking vaccinations. We are both lucky enough to be able to get vaccinated right now.
Yeah, thank you, pre-existing conditions.
And thank you working as a frontline essential worker.
That's right, girl. You are frontline, ain't you?
And I am essential. I am the most essential.
Yes, you are. You are frontline.
I am frontline.
I'm not gonna say essential. I'm just gonna say frontline. I'm not giving you that honor.
Fine. I am group 3, as it is in North Carolina. But just to warn everybody, and to warn you too, Auntie, because I don't think I've told you. Throughout April, it may be hit and miss with these due to, vaccinations, other things going on. But coming up in May, we should be weekly again. Yay. We will do our best through April. But there could be a day that Miss Mims feels like shit. Auntie Maim feels like crap because she doesn't cuss for some reason. I don't understand it.
I curse sometimes.
I think it's just because Bertha listens to this.
No.
Hey, Mama Bertha.
Are you kidding? My mother has watched my improv shows. She has seen me say everything under the sun. Actually, funny story about that. Back when we were first at the theater, maybe the first year or two we were there, we used to live stream our shows. I don't know if you remember that or not. And my mom used to be the only person watching it. And every once in a while, people would be backstage, right? So they would actually be watching and see what the show looks like. And so they see that my mom's on. And one time, one of the cast members, John, he his character went on this crazy swear thing, right? And then and then at the end, he said, "Oh, sorry, Mrs. Hamilton." Like he actually stopped the show and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because they were like it was like my mom was like the sole like digital audience, so everybody started thinking about that all the time. It was the strangest thing. I was like, "Guys, she knows it's a comedy show." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's weird."
And she's from New York. I mean,
Girl.
I'm sure she's. I'm sure she's. Has she ever said those words?
My mother used to have a forked tongue back before she got too much into Jesus. So, you know, before the Lord helped her cleanse that palate of those swear words, she did used to, you know, be in that world, but thank the Lord he has brought her out of that.
I could imagine your brother's probably put those words in her mouth sometimes.
Sure, I put some of those words in her mouth.
Oh, I know you. I know you
Sure.
did. I know you did. I know you did.
Although I am a bit of an angel.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're the blessed youngest child.
The blessed youngest child, and you're the sainted only child.
You're right. I ain't gonna lie. My mama still use those words at me. I remember during the divorce, my mother let an F-bomb go, and I just looked at her and she's like, "By the way, that word's fine now."
Oh, my mom didn't do that when she used to lose her temper with my dad. She never turned to me and said, "It's okay now." She never did that.
Oh. And
Yeah.
on that note, let's get into episode 9, The It Men.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that, Marjorie, just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, it was so funny, right? We're so old that I first thought of it as IT, and then I was like, "Oh wait, no, it's it." Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
it.
thought it was IT too, but then I was like, "There's no IT men in this. There's no IT."
I don't get the title this time. Like I was really trying, and I think the main reason I don't get the title is because there's only one guy in this episode.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, I mean, I kind of remembered the episode a little bit as it was starting, but then I was like, maybe there's another guy that shows up at some point in this thing. Like,
I don't.
Yeah, it's just him. It's just what's his name? Ed.
Yeah.
So this was December 4th, 1986. So we are approaching our Christmas holiday time, which I'm almost certain there's going to be some kind of Christmas episode coming soon. Perfect for this season because it's hot outside. And so the episode starts. I almost thought this was a little bit of a wink. I don't know about you. With Suzanne once again, just like on episode 1, freaking out about her alimony checks.
I know. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I did. I really was like, oh, I think this is almost like them like saying, like, look how far we've come over 9 episodes. Like, we're still where we were.
Yeah, so I Googled to see if there's anything else that it could mean.
Yeah.
And I maybe it was something in the 80s. Anyway, yes, so she's obsessing over the alimony checks.
Yes. I love
and
it.
Like
though.
looking around and Julia's chiding her about it.
Of course, because that's what Julia does.
Yeah, it's basically saying she's figured she'd be like one of those pigs looking for truffles in France.
Isn't it terrible that I was like, I hate being such a goody two-shoes sometimes, that my brain thought, well, if you just listened to Charlene the last time, you'd know where they were and that they're in alphabetical order by their last name.
Well, Mary Jo walks in. And she has something very weird happen to her.
Can we just say for one moment, this was
Yeah.
a really weird joke.
Yeah, like there was a dog in the passenger side that stared at her like it knew her. I was like, what is going on? This episode's already going a little off the rails.
And then it goes to commercial.
Commercial. Like, just what? You can tell at this point, like dear listeners, the first season of Designing Women nearly got canceled. And we are in episode 9, which means we're about midway through the first season.
About midway.
So this could be a couple of the crap episodes that they throw in before, the mid-season break, but it's just very weird.
It was very, I all I thought was like, maybe this was like just kind of establishing that it's just kind of like an everyday day at the office. Because sometimes the episodes start very like high stakes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was what I thought. Is like maybe this is just really kind of establishing that it's just kind of like an every kind of wacky day here at Studebaker's and that's it, right?
So we're back from the break. Charlene walks in and she's talking about how bad she's feeling about herself.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody's like, why? And then she takes off her coat and reveals this black dress.
No, it wasn't.
Black blouse.
It was that awful bedazzled blouse with a leather black skirt.
Yeah, and Julia looks at her and says, well, maybe you'd feel less ashamed if you changed outfits.
Oof.
God,
Can I say that outfit, I got like little triggered moments because I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when women used to wear these crazy oversized bedazzled sweaters like this with like little pencil skirts.
It looked like a Pandora bracelet in blouse version. Like it was so ugly.
and like the divorce kind of Pandora's bracelet too. Not even like the I just got married. Like it was like the little things that were on there was like, what is that? Why does it look like that?
Yeah. So Charlene is going to have lunch with Ed, her financial advisor, and but she kind of likes him. Like she's still in love with Mason. She's still with Mason.
Yeah, she's
and in
still
love with him.
Mason.
Enough to make fat jokes about him still.
Still making the fat jokes.
Could have learned about from these.
still making the fat jokes somehow. What did she say? I get so sad thinking about him being 300 pounds surrounded by a bunch of thin people that don't eat nothing but fish. I was like, wow.
God. Did you notice how cute their bright red coffee maker was?
Yes.
Okay.
That used to be a thing that I used to beg my family for, were kitchen accessories back then. More so than actual toys. We used to go through the Kmart and the Woolworth, and I would go look at the kitchen section.
Not the Woolworth, girl. I love that Woolworth.
I did too.
Oh, God. Bye, Signal Hill Mall. Well, I mean, you're still there, but
You're still there. You mean
I don't know how.
You mean drive by Signal Hill Mall?
So, and she calls Mason her big cookie.
Yeah.
To which Julia's like, stop it.
Was that weird too, right? When Julia was like, I mean, that's like the least sexual thing a person could get called, and Julia was like bothered by it.
Well, I mean, she's probably, the way that I interpreted it was not about the sexual part. It was how many times Julia's probably heard it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So then we learn what Charlene's type is. It's Elvis Presley, Fidel Castro, and Carl Sagan, because she likes the way he says cosmos.
Oh,
it just gets her all hot and bothered.
Which then makes Julia upset again. And she's like, I'm sorry, Julia. I know you don't like when we talk about what makes us hot.
So Suzanne chimes in.
Speaking of
says, yeah. And she's like, why don't you just base your relationships on money, y'all? Like, all this love, all this connection, all this heat. Money.
That's why she likes having a nice established husband.
Uh-huh.
But what did Julia say? Very rich and near terminal.
I mean, I can't. Suzanne has a little bit of a point. Okay, no, she doesn't.
I mean,
But
so, well, here's the thing, though, right? Like, this is like a thing that's really funny. So, this goes back to what we always joke about, right? Which is that there are men and women out there that do this specifically, and it's like this strange unspoken about taboo, but there are people that do this.
Yeah.
And I think that it's funny because Suzanne's character never ever is ashamed of the fact that she is like this.
no,
I love it.
no. And I feel like in watching Perky a few episodes ago, that she's fine with it too.
Yeah.
Like,
Perky don't care. She's
well,
like,
Perky don't care. She knows that's what her daughter wants, and by God, get it if you want it.
I mean, she knows that her daughter is well taken care of for the rest of her life.
That's exactly right. So I've got something to tell you.
Okay.
Charlene wrote to Mason and told him everything that's going on.
Okay, so here's one.
Wrote to him.
Yeah.
He's been gone like 2 weeks. Then a letter took a week and a half to get there.
Yeah.
Go on.
So no, I was gonna say she wrote to him. So that was another time period, right? Sometimes the show in time periods is very weird. So
Yes.
she wrote to him, and they said that he'd only been gone 3 weeks. So I thought, okay, she's been seeing Ed now for a week. So technically, she started seeing Ed 2 weeks after he left for Tokyo. And it's really odd because I thought Charlene, like, I didn't think better of Charlene, but I'm just confused by Charlene because they really made a big deal out of him leaving on that other episode.
Yeah. Well, it's because he's fat. That's why it's a big deal.
She did kept talking about chemistry, didn't she?
So then they have they have a discussion about PMS.
Oh Lord.
And Suzanne is retaining water. And I
Oh,
was
wait.
like, this is a very 80s, like, women directed discussion that would not fly now.
No.
Like,
What did Suzanne say? She said PMS is just an excuse for women to get away with murder.
yep.
What?
I don't. So that it's not PMS, it's just cramps. Well, you know, us fair-boned women hold water better than you, blah, 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 blah. Mary Jo says she has one day a month where she looks like Roderick Crawford, who I had to Google, and he's a real that guy, a black and white that guy. And Julia says, well, Suzanne is Willard Scott. Great Scott, Willard, what are you doing here? If they could see me now out on this fun ship cruise, breathing the sea air and doing what we choose.
I would have, would have been a good one too. When she said Willard Scott, I thought she could have also said Wilford Brimley.
That's who I thought she'd said, and I was like, no, it's Willard Scott.
No, it's Willard Scott.
Yeah.
People don't know who Willard Scott is now.
No, they don't.
No.
They don't. Do they know Kathy Lee Gifford? I mean, I guess that she was on Hoda and Kathy Lee in the morning for the longest time.
So we're gonna pause just for a quick second. So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience,
Ding, ding, ding.
for those that are not sure who Willard Scott is, back in the day, Willard Scott was essentially the Today Show's weatherman and general comedic release.
Yes.
Yes. So in the 80s.
Yes, the weatherman used to be white.
Yep. Before the Roker era, it was Willard Scott, and Willard Scott was very famous. He hosted like TV shows. He did like the Macy's parade, all of that stuff. And but yeah, he was very, very popular until he got really old.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's pretty much it.
That's true.
And he was kind of chunky and like balding. Like he just
And he's still alive.
Wait, Ed's here.
I know.
Ed's at the door.
It's at the door. It's at the door.
Ed's at the door.
Grab your goosies, girl. Ed's here.
Y'all better be nice. Ed's at the door. Open the door up. hello, Ed. Slam the door again. Y'all better be nice. Y'all better be nice.
I thought that was the funniest joke of the episode. Personally, I was like, that was a cute joke.
There's one more that gets me. We'll get to that one in a little bit.
Oh no.
So she opens the door, and doesn't he look just like Jerry Lee Lewis?
And he did
This
not.
is a callback too.
Yeah.
Like,
And
she just
he did not. He
Jerry Lee Lewis.
But he didn't. He didn't look like Jerry Lee Lewis.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
He didn't even look like.
Like Jerry Lewis?
No, worse. He didn't.
Lady!
Lady! He didn't even look like. He didn't even look like when Dennis Quaid played Jerry Lee Lewis in the Jerry Lee Lewis movie.
So, when I first saw this person, like at first glance, I thought it was Donald Trump. I thought it was a young Donald Trump on set. At first glance, with that hair right here, his face. It wasn't.
No, but his face is never that long. He's always had that weird.
At just first glance, when you're like trying to text and listen at the same time.
Oh, okay, that, yeah. That, sure.
So they go to lunch, and then Mary Jo and Julia go to a house where they're redoing a bedroom.
Yes, a lovely like 80s inspired home. It was very nice, and they're just kind of exploring the area,
Auntie Maim.
Yes.
I need you to go look at the dresser.
Oh, okay. Let me go see what the dresser's about. Is it a nice dresser? Is it a mid-century mom? Oh my God! That's the man that Charlene's been seeing.
Dixie Carter's gasp at this point.
She said,
"Yes,
said,
oh, fantastic!
You must not like the dresser." She's like, "No, I just had a bit of asthma." And I, who am asthmatic, said, "That's not how that works." But okay, sure, we'll let it slide.
So, Ed is married.
Ooh.
So after this cute little scene where they're just going to change the drapes, they're going to change the drapes in this bedroom. You can't do much, but you can change the drape. So I don't like in this entire thing. The only thing that they're redoing in this entire house is the bedroom, and the only thing they're doing in this bedroom are the drapes.
Well, okay.
No wonder Sugar Bakers is in trouble financially all the time.
Well, it didn't make sense either, though. Like, that didn't make sense. I was like, because she said, well, this is probably the only place you can spice up. I was like, what are you talking? Like, it was a weird, like, there are all these weird, like, metaphors for their relationship and things like that. And I was like, but I don't want to say this isn't possible. However, based on that room, there is no way in hell that there is a California king bed in that room.
No, that was not a California king. That was a queen size bed.
I was like, Mary Jo, there ain't no way you could fit California king bed in that room. I had a king bed and it was already too big. So I know a California king bed is like another like 2 or 3 feet wide. There ain't no way. No house in the South has that.
Mine does. Yeah, we just upgraded to a king size bed. I have this little townhome I've got has a huge master bedroom. Like it could be 2 bedrooms.
Oh, really?
It's a 2-bedroom townhome, but the master is like gargantuan. It's fantastic. Anyway, we're back at Sugar Bakers.
Ooh, okay, executive fish. Yes.
I hope that all those uh-huhs got recorded. I will make sure to make them real loud if they didn't. So we're back at Sugar Bakers. Suzanne comes in and she really likes sad news. So like her getting so excited about sad news tripped me out.
It was really weird, right? Like it was like, that's my favorite. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So they tell her and she's like, but she's already told Mason. She ruined it. Well, then Charlene walks in with her lingerie she just picked up.
Right. Not for Ed.
No. But a mood changing pair of panties, voice activated brassiere.
I did think of something during this moment when she said that. I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if this is the moment that inspired the hypercolor shirts, because those came out a couple of years later.
I, I, I ain't got nothing for you.
I'm just saying, right? They were like eight. It was
my guess is that there were already. So a lot of stuff starts with porn and that kind of stuff first. So they may have already been using it in that before
true.
it went to hypercolor shirts.
Yeah.
But hypercolor has to be in, if I remember correctly, has to be in cotton.
Oh.
So because it's a dye in the cotton. It's not like polyester. Let's get into a little science here.
Oh, Lord.
The difference between polyester and cotton is dyed. Polyester, the color is in the thread.
Got it.
The color's actually part of the thread.
Yes.
So I think at the time that color change stuff had to be dyed into it. So you would be wearing cotton panties.
Yes. Cotton panty.
And those color shirts did not feel good either. Oh my God, you'd have a scratchy poussoir. Go on.
I never had. My brother had one or two, I think it was, and but you had to be very careful on how you like marked it and stuff, because I remember specifically that they washed it the wrong way and that ruined it.
I had one that was yellow to green. And like and I was a kid, and you go outside and play and you get sweaty. If you sweat too much into it, it just changed permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
which is like a boo moment.
Yeah. They get Charlene, and they have something very important to tell her. She thinks she's fired, but she doesn't think she can be fired because she's part owner.
Right. Which was, once again, like, I'm really happy that it did that, right? Reassessing again that Charlene is a part of that company. I did think it was funny, though, because at first Charlene was like, does someone in my family die? And she actually said it with like that level of commitment that you're like, oh, you're going to be a big star one day. Like, you're going to. Yeah. Because she was her normal Charlene self. But then she did that for that moment. I was like, oh, there's that little peak there of our Emmy-winning Jean Smart right there.
Well, Ed's married.
What? No.
But she misses Mason and loves him more anyway.
But Charlene, you already wrote Mason.
I know, but it's very hard for me to feel sorry for Charlene in this moment. Oh. Well, so then they go to a restaurant, Charlene and Mary Jo, and they're waiting on Ed to show up. Mary Jo is stressing out,
She's
drinking
stressing
Mai
out
Tais.
Yes.
Which that does not even look like a Mai Tai. I don't know what that is.
It wasn't a Mai. I mean, me who is very much a big Mai Tai drinker, it wasn't a Mai Tai.
No, it was not.
It is what it is.
Ed comes in. Charlene basically is like, oh, you're married.
No, Mary Jo starts it, right? Because she's first like talking about people with secrets. And
yeah.
And Charlene has to do her little like, Mary Jo. I think they have to do I think it's like written in the script that at least one time per episode, Charlene has to go, Mary Jo, like at least once.
And like they're going on and on. Well, how'd you find out? Well, we're redoing your bedroom. Why are you redoing our bed? Or what are you doing to our bedroom? We're changing the drapes. Well, I like the drapes. We should really keep the drapes no longer than 7 years. Then they go on for a little bit, and Ed says something like, and then, but what about the sex? This is the best line to me. Mary Jo gets up and says basically, that duck just dropped that word. I need to peace. And she shakes Ed's hand and said, Ed, so nice to meet you. I'm sure you're probably a creep, but good luck to you and your family.
I love that line so much. I love that line so much. I want to use that in life.
But they didn't have sex.
They didn't.
They did not.
I was like, it was so funny because when they said it, I was like, I knew this show would do this. Like, I knew they would still somehow make Charlene the purest of pure.
But wait. Ed's left his wife.
What?
Ed's left his wife, and it's time. The waiter comes up. It says, "Ma'am, have you made your decision?"
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did this moment with the waiter not remind you of will you be having wine with dinner from Soap Dish? He even looked like the guy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Like, he delivered the line. He looked like the guy. I was like, oh, this is so funny. Like, of all things for us to be like watching, I laughed for like a good 5 minutes because I was like, oh my gosh, it's that guy. Like, and like in the background, you could almost see like Betty Faye Sharon like off in the background saying, he's so good, right? Like, you just know that Betty Faye Sharon had sex with this man on this episode. She was the casting director on this episode, and she had sex with that man.
Could you try it topless?
Sorry, audience. For y'all who don't know, you need to go watch the movie Soap Dish. If you've never seen the movie Soap Dish, it's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
When we do our live show, we'll do Soap Dish.
We apologize in advance.
Yes. It is a little transphobic, but everything except for that's real good.
Yeah, everything but that is A-okay.
So we're back at Sugar Baker's.
Yeah. Yep.
Mason's letter arrives.
Yeah.
He met a stewardess.
Oh, man.
So she calls him.
She's so angry.
Immediately.
I'm so worried about how angry she is right now because I thought, oh my gosh, she's going to lose her religion.
And then he picks up the phone, and they're still in love.
Oh.
Oh, God. Did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
So I actually, my Miss Georgia World this week is, it's gonna have to go to Charlene in that leather skirt because I can't help it. I thought to myself, this is everything. And if I saw that woman back when I was a kid, I would literally like pull on my mom's hand and be like, that lady's famous. Like, I would even like, she looked like I'm rich. And I was like, yeah, Charlene.
Mine is the exact same outfit. I was like, this is absurd. This is insane. She's got bangles on her sparkles. I don't know what's going on. I cannot explain it. It doesn't match. It is ugly for the 80s.
Oh man, it was.
But good job, right?
Amazing.
Like,
I felt like what's her name could have worn that outfit. The lady from the Goldbergs, the mom from the Goldbergs. She could have rocked that outfit easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
The most important question.
Yes.
Did you like this episode?
No, I did like this episode. This is actually an episode that I because it's a very like innocuous episode, right? It's like not a it's not like a, you know, it's not a crazy episode. It's just like a funny episode, right? Like once it got started, I liked it. Like it had a shaky beginning.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I like later on in the episode, like, or later on in the series, like they do have these kinds of things where the beginnings are awkward because they're not sure how to establish that it's a normal day and it's not high stakes. Once they start getting that rhythm, I think that's more in the second season. Like the episodes kind of start and it's just kind of a everyday kind of thing, but it's not. This was more like forced at the very beginning, but as it picked up, I loved it.
I'm torn about this one.
Okay.
I think Annie Potts, this is the first time they've given her reign to be funny.
Yes.
So I am thrilled with that. Like she is finally getting her one-liners in. She is finally being silly.
I think the one where she goes on the date though, that was a good one.
It's okay. Like her part's not that good in that one. Like this is the first. She's just crazy in that one. This is the first time she actually gets her real zingers in. Like,
Oh, that's true.
You see her.
Well,
like
that's the thing, though, right? That's the thing about this show is that the characters themselves, they don't actually get the zingers unless they are the side character to the main character's thing, right? Like Charlene. Charlene didn't have a lot of zingers, right? She was the character that we were kind of like experiencing the episode through. So that's actually kind of a thing, is like whoever the main person's focus is, they don't really actually get a lot of jokes.
This episode felt very disjointed to me.
Oh yeah.
In not a good way. So was it pleasurable to watch? Yes. Was it one of my favorites?
No, I would say the same.
But did I like it? I want to watch next week, see what happens.
Well, we're gonna watch every week and see what happens.
Hush, I know that, but
we do have now. I do want to pause for a second because we do have a little sad news, right? Because it happened this week. Remember, so one of our famous actors from Designing Women.
That's right.
Yeah, actor Richard Gilland, also known as J.D. Shackelford on the episodes that you guys have already seen a few of them in. He passed away this week, which was really sad to hear. And I did not know until this week that he was married to Jean Smart for 34 years.
J.D. No, I thought she was married to. Hold on here. What? She's married to JD? I thought she was married to the person she was actually married to on the show.
No. The guy that Mary Jo is with is the one that was married to Charlene.
Richard, I'm good. Hold on, I'm good. I'm googling it. I'm good because I'm so confused. What? What? He was in Airplane 2. Good Lord. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, Airplane 2.
But that's where they actually met on the show. Like that's where they started their romance. I was reading about. So I thought that was it was sad. I was like, oh my gosh, like
that is very sad. But
34 years, wow,
that's a long time
in Hollywood. That's almost unheard of.
In Hollywood.
So R.I.P. J.D. Shackelford. We will have many episodes to give you some praise because he actually is a very funny character on the show.
He is. Oh, goodness. Well, dear, next week we have the episode 10, The Slumber Party.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be in double digits now.
We are. Which is very exciting until like episode 5? Season 5, season 6. When do they start making those switches?
Here's the thing, though, right?
Tell me, Auntie, what is the thing?
I think the audience is going to agree with me here, where even though season 5 and 6 aren't that great, it's probably going to make for some really good podcast episodes.
That is true. That is true.
So, although we might not look forward to the episodes, our audience is probably going to really look forward to the episode.
That is very true. That is very true. And speaking of audience, we have somebody in Bahrain who listens to us now.
Hello, Bahrain.
Hello, Bahrain.
Hey, Bahrain. Hey.
Hey.
Can you send us some of your finest things from Bahrain? Make it rain on us from Bahrain.
Y'all, if you could see Auntie Maim Noire right now,
I just want some saris or something like something.
That's sorry. That's India, dude.
No, they have them in Bahrain too.
Do they?
Yes.
Okay. Auntie Maim just wants to do a little cultural appropriation. It's okay.
Which culture am I appropriating that I'm not already?
That's true. That is true. And on that note, I believe that we have worn out our welcome this week. Auntie, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the internets at auntie.maim, M-A-I-M. Also on Facebook at the same place. Also on Twitter at the same place. You can follow my home theater at Villain Theater down in Miami if you want to see some funny stuff from them. What about you, Miss Mims?
You can find me at Divine Miss Mims on Twitter. I do have an Instagram. I don't use it. I do have a Facebook. I don't use it. You can follow us on Facebook at Mims and Maim. We also have a Patreon. Please support us. We currently have 0 supporters.
Zero supporters.
Zero supporters.
And if you don't want to support
way
us,
is up.
right. If you don't want to support us financially, go like and subscribe, and also recommend this to your friends.
Exactly.
We're just gonna keep on doing this because we just like talking about this stupid shit. So
exactly, over and over again. Like, yeah. All right, dear. Well, it has been fun, and it is time for dinner. Well, okay, it's not quite time for dinner yet, but I need to get this makeup off because it's what? I'm wearing eye makeup too.
Oh, you are.
Well, I was feeling pretty.
Well, I just couldn't tell with the way your glasses were. I couldn't
know.
tell.
I'm practicing. I'm practicing to see if I can still do it, and I look forward to Miss Mims's comeback show. I did think so. Everyone, I live in the Triangle area of North Carolina. And I did have a thought that if Flex did like an outdoor go-go, like a 60s go-go booth that was just glass around outside during this time of the pandemic, I could do that.
I mean, would you?
But like only me. I don't want any other bitch in there.
I was gonna say, like, wait, what? Like, so you're just
like, unless he's sterilizing in between each one,
So you would just do like a go-go dance inside of a booth, and like, or
yes,
like,
but like when the fortune teller thinks they'd have to give money for me to do shit.
Okay, or like maybe just some Celine Dion ballads. I guess you could do.
My heart will go on and on and on and on and on.
Well,
I drove all night.
Right. It's something that you don't have to move much.
Yeah, well, I don't move much anyway. That was never my style of drag. If I did move much, it usually meant I was too drunk to host the show.
Oh, is that?
I did it anyway.
Is that why you used to do that thing where you jumped up and collapsed on your knees, which scared the audience enormously every time?
It was so good. It always hurt my knees so much.
I know.
Like it was. And part of the reason it made such a big noise was that stage is hollow up underneath. Like there's very little support.
I know.
So it would scare people right back into being there. I wonder how many people I made pee. Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Hope they liked it. All right. Bye, dear.
Bye, honey.
Bye. Where's my thingy?
Where's my thingy?